ENC 3213 Fall Mini Term. Welcome, I am your instructor. You might have seen my name on your syllabus and you're wondering, how do I pronounce that? Don't worry about it, it's just Dr. Malesh. This is a professional writing class, and so we're going to keep things pretty professional. You're going to refer to me as Dr. Malesh, that's just my honorific and last name, and I will refer to you as a generic MX pronoun and your last name until such time as you give me more identifying information. If you'd rather I call you Bob or Sally or whatever your first name is, that's fine, I can do that. But I'm going to stay Dr. Malesh. We're going to keep a little bit of professional distance to reflect typical workplace writing practices where we address each other by honorifics and last names. In this video, in addition to introducing myself so that you could see me and hear my nasally Midwestern voice, you might have gathered, yes, I am from the Midwest. I'm from Detroit, Michigan specifically. So we talk fast, we talk out our noses, and all of our T's turn into soft D's. So I do indeed have an accent. You're not hearing things. It's not you, it's me. So let's get started. Briefly, let me talk about some of the more important concepts that are on the syllabus. You'll excuse me if I look left and right, but I am kind of glancing at my screen as I go over the essential details. Just to touch on some of the high points, I have been teaching this sort of writing specifically for about 15 years. I've been teaching writing a little bit longer than that, I guess since 2006-ish. I've been a workplace writer in some form or another since 1999, working for a large automotive supply company. I did some intranet writing, and that just spread. So that while I was working as an IT technician in the early 2000s, I just kept getting writing work. So that worked out very well for me. As I went through my undergraduate and my master's, I started working for a small copywriting agency. I then set out and freelanced for myself, which is the bulk of my professional and copywriting experience. If you ever want to talk about professional writing, I'm here for that conversation. Happy to do it. Suffice to say, I've been doing this for a long time. I love doing it, and I'm here to share that with you. So this class has 3 modules. They correspond roughly to getting a job, finding work, and executing a plan. So module 1 is all about correspondence and job docs. That's letters, memos, and then producing a job application packet. That's a resume, cover letter, thank you letter, and then a little keyword report that goes along with that. All the details are in the modules. More on that in just a moment. Module 2, you're going to write a proposal. The whole idea is that you find work to do. This is a 21st century workplace skill. It's been an in-demand component of the workforce for a long time, that you find ways to keep yourself busy and to generate revenue for your organization. Employers do not want somebody that just sits around waiting to be told what to do. You're going to find something to do. So your Project 2 and Project 3, that's for Module 2 and Module 3, go live at the same time so that you can cross-reference them against each other. Your final project is to execute on what you propose in Module 2. So in Module 3, you're going to write a recommendation report that tells a company what to do, and you're going to support that with research. Or you can produce a set of instructions to show them how to do something, and you will user test those instructions to make sure that they are valid and functional. So, 3 subsections corresponding to getting a job, proposing work, and then executing the work. In between time, you're going to have a variety of short tasks. These include quizzes, discussions, and assignments. So just to clarify, the 4 types of work you're going to do: quizzes are pulled pretty much directly from the book, and in fact, if I can do this pretty quick I think, this is your textbook. This is Markel and Selber's Practical Strategies for Technical Communication, 3rd edition. So it's got all the, computer and headphones and phone and stuff on the front. It's a very good book and quite affordable. I don't care if you use the ebook. Go ahead and get that if it's cheaper. I don't care if you rent. Go ahead and do that. I don't care if you and your best friend are also taking this class together and you share a book. So long as you can read it and use it, awesome. Do that. Save money. So the quizzes are pulled pretty much directly from the book. You will also have discussions. I expect your discussions to be on topic, well formatted. You don't have to be fancy with the formatting, but I don't want the monolithic wall of text. I want you to have an intro, body, conclusion, and I want you to think about usability in all your documentation. So if you write something for your fellow students or for me, we shouldn't have to decode it. We shouldn't have to sit there breaking apart the paragraphs and untangling what you mean. Markel and Selber call this the you attitude. Paul Anderson, who's another prominent technical writer, he calls it the reader-centered approach. Either way, we are trying to remember that we write to meet our clients' needs, our readers' needs. It's not about what we want to say, it's what they need to hear. So let's meet those needs by well-formatted, professional-sounding documentation, even in discussions. Assignments, you've got a grand total of 6. So in my announcement earlier, I said that you had 3. In total, you have 6. You have 3 minor workplace writing projects. You're producing letters, you're producing memos, you're going to produce a visual style guide that's very basic, don't worry too much about it. You also have 3 module wrap-ups. So at the end of every module, 1, 2, and 3, you compile a list of techniques, tropes, terms, whatever's going to help you, and then you explain why they're useful. So it's just a little something that you have handy going forward when it's time for you to write in the workplace, and it helps me to understand what you took away from everything that you've read beforehand. Finally, every module ends with a project. I explained those earlier. You've got the job docs project, the proposal, and then the final project, which is a recommendation report or a set of instructions. There's a lot of reading, and it is, frankly, quite a bit of work to do in this mini term. You're going to read about a chapter per day, and you're going to have something due pretty much every day. A note on that. Every module begins with a discussion. On day 1, make your post. On day 2, come back and do your responses. I'm going to be paying attention to this. Everything has to be done by the end of the second day, but I also want to see who did and did not post on the first day. You may be penalized if you don't post on the first day. Don't expect people to respond and engage you in conversation if you make a last-minute contribution. Quizzes have due dates, but they can be done at any time during their owning module. Assignments, those do have due dates. They can be completed late, but you lose points. Projects, same thing. So do pay attention to those due dates. I can't stress this enough. Being able to meet a deadline is an elementary skill in both academia and in the workforce. You are expected to be on time. You are expected to meet deadlines. This is not laudable. This is the bare basement expectation. As for grading, I will tell you this. I care about whether or not you can do this work. I don't like to fiddle points. I don't like to argue about scores. So I tend to grade things pretty much pass-fail. So there's points attached to everything. If you submit it on time and as requested, you're going to get full points. If it's late, you go down 10%, 20%, 25%, and then anything that's more than 3 days late is half credit max. So get your work in on time. If your work has problems, I'm going to do one of 2 things. I'm either going to kick it back for what we call a revise and resubmit, where you're going to do that work over, you're going to fix your mistakes and send it back in, or I'm going to ask you to explain your choices. If you are only asked to explain choices, you're still eligible for 100%. There's just something you did that I don't understand, and maybe you're right. And if you're right, I want you to explain yourself. Do so, boom, 100%. If there's a problem that's frankly just a problem, you're going to have to redo the work, or you're going to have to complete the work, is probably a better way to say that. And you're going to get docked a few points. It's not the worst thing in the world, but I do want to emphasize following instructions, asking questions when you're confused, and following up whenever you have to. Right work gets full points. If it's got problems, it gets kicked back. It goes down 10%. If I have to kick it back again, it goes down another 10%, okay? So if you get a kickback, pay attention and dig into that a little bit. I'm always here to help. My email is vmalesh@fiu.edu. That's vmalesh@fiu.edu. And I'm here to help. Don't be shy about contacting me. I do kind of keep banker hours. That's 9 to 5, Monday through Friday on Eastern Standard Time in the U.S. That said, I kind of am addicted to emails, so I'm always checking it. And if you have a question, I'll probably get back to you, even if it's a night or a weekend. Don't count on it, but I probably will. Anyway, that's enough out of me for now. This is almost 10 minutes long, so let me just wrap it up. My name is Dr. Malesh. I'm looking forward to being your instructor for this fall mini-term of ENC 3213. If you ever have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out. vmalesh@fiu.edu, vmalesh@fiu.edu. Good luck, and I'm glad you're here.